Secular philosophy will tell you your pain is random. It's purposeless. It's just a utilitarian life that you live and then you die. Religion will tell you that God looks to judge us in a way that he is angry with us, and he will pummel us and punish us. So your only hope is to be good and act right if you want God to fix or help you in your life. But Scripture says neither. Scripture says pain is actually a pathway to growth. Our lives and understanding of God are strengthened through testing. I had a basketball coach that really understood this, and he had a 2-week camp before practices started where we didn't even touch a basketball. It was just sprints, push-ups, weights. I hated it. And there was this one drill, we had to put our back against the wall and sit like this against the wall. And it would go for minutes and minutes and minutes. And he would laugh at us and watch us. He was a bit of a masochist, I think. And then he would say, "Scream this, I love the pain." And we're like, "We love the pain. Come on, I love the pain." And he would say it louder and louder, and we would scream. By the end, tears are coming down our eyes because we literally are hurting that much, and we are screaming, "I love the pain." I hated the pain. Never loved it. But what was his point? You know what? I love winning. I love being victorious. How is my life going to follow God's perfect plan? I love the pain. Because God has a purpose for it. He's working out his purpose, even in the midst of that struggle, even in the midst of that hardship. Suffering is not a sign that God has forgotten you or forsaken you or that you're not one of his favorites. It's just the journey towards Christ-likeness that all of us have to take. The New Testament gives us 5 reasons that we suffer. I'd like to share them with you. Number 1, we live in a fallen world. Romans 1 tells us this. That the world is groaning, that there is a brokenness to our world. We will suffer because earth is your address. And this world is cursed. So people will have hardship. There will be disease. There will be loss. There will be death. There will be struggle. Count on it. It is a part of being here. Pain is a universal issue because sin is universal. It has been passed down to every single one of us. And so we live in a fallen world, and that reality will be with us. Secondly, we suffer for our spiritual growth. 1 Peter 1, 3 through 9. No one says, "I have had 3 of the most comfortable years of my life, and I learned so much about God and myself through that." But you know what I've heard time and time again? As someone comes out of one of the most difficult seasons of their life, I did not enjoy it. I did not like it. It was not easy. There were days I was desperate, I was broken, and I was hurting. But I learned more about my God and myself in those years than anything else in my life. For our spiritual growth, suffering in the hands of the Redeemer is often the workroom of grace, where God does his best work to develop us, to mature us, to grow us. Thirdly, we suffer so we can bring comfort to other supporters and sufferers. 2 Corinthians 1, 3 through 9. Here's the thing. You do not own your blessing. God blesses us. It's not something that we earn. It's not something we deserve. It's just the goodness of God in our lives. You also don't own your suffering. God uses your suffering to help others. It's for the good of others as well. So my suffering is my issue. No, it's also developing others who are sufferers. I have seen people suffer well, and their testimony is palpable and powerful. It is like this beautiful light that just draws people in, and they say, how? How do you have such a good attitude? Because I have a good God. Wow, that's encouraging to me. I needed to hear that. We suffer, fourthly, for God's glory. We suffer for God's glory. When we suffer well, God's name is glorified. My people live by faith, walk by faith, suffer in faith. And we suffer because our faith. Sometimes we're martyred. Sometimes we're chided. Sometimes we are never going to be in the in crowd on this earth because, why? Because we are followers of Christ. Listen, your suffering is not in the way of God's plan. It's fulfilling it. It's a part of how God is using his plan in your life. And it's always purposeful.